This is notes on 30, 60, 90 special right triangles. So this is another special right triangle identified by the 30, 60, 90 angle. And the sides of the 30, 60, 90 triangle are in the ratio of x square root of 3, and 2x, where x is going to be the leg by the 60-degree angle. X times the square root of 3 is going to be the leg by the 30-degree angle, and 2x is going to be the hypotenuse. Okay. So if we look at the triangle over here, notice we have a 60-degree, a 30-degree, and a 90-degree. And the leg by the 60-degree is this leg here. Okay, so it's by the 60-degree, and that is representing x, so in this case it's 1. Then the leg by the 30-degree would be this one. And notice that the ratio is x times the square root of 3. Well, since x was 1, 1 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 3. And then the hypotenuse is going to be 2x, so 2 times 1 gives us 2. So if we look here at this one where we're labeling the angle measures and the side measures, we have first to identify the 90-degree angle right here in the corner. Then we have the 60-degree angle, and then the 30-degree angle. So I'm going to label those first. So A was 30, B is 60, and C is 90. And then we look at what side they are attached to. So the one for 60 right here would be this side. Okay, this side, remember, is x, and notice that the total distance here is 2, so half that distance will be 1. So that's A. B, the other leg, is going to be represented by the side that's attached to the 30-degree angle right here. And remember, that is always 1 times, or the x times the square root of 3, so 1 times the square root of 3. And C is the hypotenuse, so it's always going to be 2 times x, so 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so looking at the first example, the first thing you're going to do is label your angles. So we have your 60-degree angle, our 90-degree angle, and our 30-degree angle. And then I'm going to look at the legs that are attached to each angle. Okay, so remember that the leg attached to the 60-degree angle is the one that's represented by x. Okay, so this one is technically A is equal to x. We got to find that x value. The one that it's attached to the 30-degree angle is B, which is equal to x square root of 3. And then that hypotenuse there, 16 is equal to the ratio 2x. So if you solve for x, we divide both sides by 2, and we get x is equal to 8. Well, that means this side right here is 8, so I'm going to write that since it's labeled y equals 8. And then now that I have x, I can plug that x into here, and I have that this leg is going to be x is equal to 8 square roots of 3. So here are my answers. Okay, example 2. First, I'm going to identify my labels. So I have my 30-degree, my 60-degree, and my 90-degree. Okay, then I'm going to identify the legs that are attached to each angle. So here is my leg for 60 degrees, and then my leg for 30 degrees. And then the other side is my hypotenuse. So remember, the leg with the 60 degrees is A, so A is equal to x. And then for 30 degrees, this is B is equal to x square roots of 3. Well, since we have that angle for B, I can do 15 square roots of 3 is equal to x square roots of 3. Since they have a square root of 3 on both sides, I can cancel them out, and I'm left with 15 is equal to x. So that's my first side right there. And then in order to find my hypotenuse, remember my hypotenuse is y is equal to 2x. And I know x is 15, so y is equal to 2 times 15. Y is equal to 30. Okay. Last example. First, I identify my angle. So here's my 90-degree angle and my 30-degree angle. Then I identify the leg that's attached to each. So here's the leg for my 30-degree angle, and here's the leg for my 60-degree angle. Remember, for the 60-degree angle, this is A is equal to X. And for my 30-degree angle, this is B is equal to X square roots of 3. And then my hypotenuse is Y is equal to 2X. Well, since I'm given my leg for B, I can do 12 is equal to X times the square root of 3. Divide both sides by the square root of 3, and I get X is equal to 12 divided by the square root of 3. Well, I have to rationalize this by multiplying the top and bottom by the square root of 3. So I get 12 square roots of 3 divided by the square root of 9. So this is equal to 12 square roots of 3 divided by 3, which is equal to 4 square roots of 3. Okay, so that means I found my X value. So I have X is equal to 4 square roots of 3. And remember, my hypotenuse is Y is equal to 2X. So I have Y is equal to 2 times 4 square roots of 3. So this is equal to 8 square roots of 3. So here are both my answers for X and Y.